Okay, welcome back to Mr. Turner's art class. Okay, so today is going to be interesting because my students at KJ, they have a Black History contest, and part of the instructions for that contest, they have to draw a portrait of some famous figure in Black history. So that would require knowing how to draw a human head. Now, I have touched on this in the past, but I'm going to go ahead and, I guess, redo it and just give people little tips and pointers and stuff like that to just draw a generic head, a generic human head. So once I show you how to do this, you should be able to line things up like the nose, the eyes, the mouth, all that kind of good stuff. And then it will be up to you how you want to structure the face. So if you want to make it to a man, make it to a woman, make it, you can make them fat, thin, more in shape, thick jaw lines, depending on how you want to do his chin. I mean, you can do a lot. There is a lot. You can make them young, you can make them old, So, but this is going to be a generic human head, okay? For anybody, if you want to make draw it more like anime, you can. If you want to make it more realistic, you can. I mean, it's basically the same steps. So, first thing first, really all you're going to need today is just a pencil. Now, we need a line of symmetry. Okay, this is probably the easiest way to do this for a lot of people. If you need a line of symmetry, you need a straight line. You're just going to put a crease along the side of the paper. Just do it like that. So, of course, you got that line that's running down the paper. Now, I would recommend having a ruler, but I don't have one, so that's kind of why I'm about to do this. I am going to draw a straight line, straight as possible, down that crease. Yes, I know the line is crooked, but, close enough. Let me do it like that. Telling my OC is kicking in. Alright, so I had to make sure the line was straight. Now, I usually, pretty much when I am drawing a head, I divide the head up into the top portion of the head and the jawline. So, first thing first, I'm going to make sure that I leave some space at the top of the paper because I'm depending on what kind of hair I'm going to give the person. So I don't want to go near the top. So I say that's maybe like an inch down from the top, maybe. And I'm just going to sketch out a medium-sized circle. And when I say sketch, I mean literally just sketch it out. We can go back and draw solid lines later. I just want to be sure that it's good and curved. Remember I talked about the 5 line types? You got horizontal, vertical, diagonal, zigzag, and curve. So you just want to make a good curve line. And this part right here is nothing more than a guideline anyway. So I mean, truthfully, you would go back. We're gonna have to like redo this. If we was doing this digitally, it'd be even better because you can just create a layer, put this line on there, and create another layer and just draw a straight line over this. So that's if you're using a drawing application of some kind. But we're going to freestyle this because I think freestyling is better. Good old-fashioned pen and paper. Gotta love it. Alright, so I usually tell people just go ahead and put a dot in the middle of the page. That dot is a reference point. So this is going to represent top portion of the human head. Now, below this dot, maybe about this far, I'm going to make a slightly curved line right below that dot. Okay, so this line has a little bit of a curve, and the reason it has a little bit of a curve is because we're going to put the eyes on that line. And matter of fact, that is another guideline. I'm going to just put a little mark right there, and I'm going to write right above it eyes. Just so you know, eyes are going to be sitting on that line. Now, how are we going to do the eyes? Okay, first, this is where you have to decide what kind of person you're drawing. Are you drawing an anime person? Are you drawing a real person? So I'm going to draw a semi-realistic person. Again, this is going to be a generic head. So I am going to put a almond-shaped eye. I am going to leave about, I'll say about that much space between from here, from this little dot to this edge. And I'm going to start his eye. However, I am not going to come anywhere close to the line of symmetry right there. So I'm going to have my almond. My little almond shape. You can use an almond, a lemon, however you want to look at it. Now, what I am going to do and all you must pay attention on this. Okay, most people when they're drawing a head, where they usually mess up is they have the eyes either too far apart or they're too close together. I'm going to show you an easy little trick to get the distance of the eyes just right. Okay, you're going to take the the width of this eye. Okay, let's just say hypothetically, if I use a ruler, let's say I made this about 1 inch. So this is an inch in width. I am going to come over here and I am going to draw another one. That is 1 inch in width. So I'm going to draw, it is going to be the same height and width. Just kind of get it close, give or take. Alright, so once I have that there, so I was like, that's 1 inch, that's 1 inch. Now, I'm going to start from here, and then I am going to actually draw another eye that is, again, 1 inch. So we got 1 inch, and then we're going to come over here, and we're going to do 1 inch. And again, we have the same amount of space between this edge of this edge of the eye, and the circle, which I put a dot right there, just so you can see it. So from here to here, same amount of space right there, same amount of space right there. That's how far apart our eyes are. And then all I would have to do at this point is erase this line right here, because this was nothing more than a guide. So just keep that in mind. I just lightly erase it just so you get the point. And of course, you have your eyes. So I would go back, and at this point, later you would, decide how you're going to do the eyes, what kind of eyes the person's going to have, and all that kind of stuff. I am not going to do that because, again, this is just a generic head, and I just want you to know how to space stuff apart. Now, since we have the eyes in here, we might as well go ahead and get ready to draw the jawline. So I'm going to start from this edge here, and then I am going to draw a bowl shape, the shape of a bowl, and I'm probably going to come down to right here. Now, I do have to decide is this going to be a guy or is this going to be a girl, because that will determine how the jawline looks. If it is generally speaking, if it's a guy, I'm going to give him more of a block chin. Okay, if it's a girl, their chin is going to kind of be real smooth, and it comes down more almost like a rounded point. Okay, to a point, and it's not going to be real long, because I want to keep the features looking feminine. Okay, now get about that much distance. So okay, so we got from here to here. All right, now where we're going to put the nose? How far down is the nose? The nose, I would say, is going to be about right here. And there's another tip. If this is 1 inch, this is 1 inch, this is 1 inch. Okay, so if I take this, which is let's say that hypothetically this is 1 inch. I haven't measured it, so I don't know for sure, but we're just going to say this 1 inch. I will take this. Okay, I will put it right there. The nose is 1 eye length going down. So technically speaking, if I drew an eye that is 1 inch going down here like that, then that will let you know like where that nose is supposed to be. So the bottom of the nose is going to be on this line. And technically, yes, the bottom of the nose is going to be on this line right here anyway. So that's just to confirm this. So you want the length of the nose going down from in between the eyes is 1 eye length going down, generally, give or take. So I'm just going to go ahead and just draw the nose. And I'm going to make a generic nose. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a circle right there. And then I'm going to put 2 smaller circles. Okay. And I'm not going to darken this. I'm just trying to be sure you can see this. So I have 2 small circles right here. I'm going to darken it just a little bit. Put 2 small circles right there. Now, I'm going to erase this. I don't need that. That was just letting me know how far down the nose is going to be. But that doesn't really look like a nose. All I have to do now is just trace over this. Now, truthfully, in my class, I give a lesson on how to draw a nose, because depending on the person, depending on the ethnicity of the person, what race the person is, sometimes that determines that will determine how the nose is going to look. Put a little line right there. Okay, so all I'm doing is just tracing. Almost. All I'm going to do is just trace around, and then that's just going to leave me with my nose. And if I want to, I can just erase the part of the little guide that's in there and just leave the nose. Now, the lips. Let me get that right. Get rid of that. I'm telling you, I'm OC, so. Alright, so you have your nose right there. So we have the distance between the eyes, 1 eye length. We have the distance between the middle of the eyes and the nose, again, one eye length, and it is generally going to touch the bottom of that circle if you did this diagram right. Okay, now we have the lips. The lips are going to go, matter of fact, let me right there. I should have put a line coming across at the bottom of that circle. So we're just going to say nose. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so that lets you know where the nose is. So that's the eyes, that's the nose, and now we got the mouth. The mouth is generally going to be in between the bottom of the nose and the bottom of the chin. So that means right here. Now, again, I'm going to make a very generic looking mouth. Okay, and again, I give a lesson on lips. So, like how to draw human lips. I'm not going to do that right now, but you can kind of see how I'm basically doing this. I mean, we don't make this like too hard. Just put a line right there, get a little V for the little cleft in between the lips. I'm just going to do that, connect them. Put a little mark right there, and then we're going to do the bottom lips, and then connect them. Okay, so again, it depends on how I want this person to look. So now the chin. I can affect the chin at that point. You know, it just depends on what I'm drawing. So I'm just gonna put a little line right there, Give the person a little small chin, and just round that off. And like I said, I can make this into a girl fairly quick. It's just depending on how I change how I change this jawline. If I want this to be more of a girl, I change the structure of the lips, probably have a smaller nose, and bring this jawline more to a point. But we're just going to do it like that. Now, the ears generally are going to be lined up to about right here, and you're just going to put a little oval. And I usually bring the ears, if you look at your face, probably the bottom of your earlobes are going to fall right there. So you just put like a little oval right there. You come on the other side, make sure you do the same exact thing. You put a little oval right there. Okay, now, ears, I could give a lesson on each one of these body parts. The nose, I could give a lesson. The ears, I give a lesson. The lips, I could give a lesson. Okay, because the structure, you know, is simple for the most part, but it just depends, because some people have big ears, some people have small ears, some people have the ears that look like they want to start flapping and flying away. I mean, you have all kinds of ears. You know, you have all kinds of eyes, you have all kinds of different shapes of nose. So that's the stuff that you would have to study. So, as a matter of fact, I'm going to draw another little guideline coming across here, where that mouth is. And again, I'm going to let you know that's the mouth. Now, the neck is fairly simple, depending on who the person is. Again, if it's a girl or if it's a guy. Well, if it's a girl, she's going to have a slender neck. If it's a guy, the neck could be a little bit thicker, maybe, depending. And if it's a guy, he's going to have a little bit of trap muscle. Trap muscle is the little V-shaped muscle that's coming off the neck. So we're just going to do that, because it's going to be a young guy. Some people have a shoulder, so matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and draw the little clavicle. There's a bone sitting right there. I draw a little clavicle, collarbone, and then we have the shoulder that comes off of there. And, you know, we could get all kinds of detail, you know, chest muscle, you know, little striations in the chest, whatnot. Well, we do got to add one more thing. I mean, okay, if it's a person, they're going to have a line that comes right down here and right here. Okay. So this right now is your generic head. your generic human head. Let me get rid of this because this looks like what's that dude from Dragon Ball Z, Tien? Let me get rid of that little guide right there. We don't need that guide no more. And then, matter of fact, we can sit here and just give him some eyebrows. You can give him whatever kind of eyebrows you want at this point. Thick, thin, bushy. So it's really, at that point, it's going to be on you. And matter of fact, I'm just going to go over here and just give him a little top, get little top eyelids. And we're going to give him a little bit of shape to the bottom of his eyes, like right there. Okay. Now, again, this is a very generic head. Okay. So you would have to go back yourself and decide like how you're gonna fix his eyes, how you're gonna, you know, what kind of eyes he's gonna have, what kind of eyebrows he's gonna have. He's gonna have thick eyebrows, or will she have thin eyebrows? Will they have no eyebrows? Will they have, you know, some distinguishable marks, you know, stuff like that. So I mean, it's at that point it's gonna just depend on you, on how you want to do this. Now, in truth, the best way to learn how to draw a head, honestly, is to look at yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and draw yourself. Artists been doing self-portraits for the longest. Ooh, somebody, I just not thought about it. Somebody's probably going to say, how you draw the hair? Okay, look. Again, that's personal preference, and I'm going to tell you now, your best bet will be to go either look at yourself or go get a hair magazine and look at the different hairstyles and put some hair up here. But I can tell you this, as a guideline, do not ever draw the person's hairline like right here. Like I see a lot of kids, they'll do this, like the eyes are right here, and they'll start the hairline like literally like right there, and then they're trying to draw his hair like all this, and it just looks weird. I mean, don't do that. Okay, look, you got a forehead. Okay, look yourself in the mirror. You got a forehead. So usually you got your forehead right here. Your hairline, if anything, even if it's going to be a generic hairstyle, it's going to start from here. Now, if this is the top, this line up here represents the top of the scalp. Top of the hair needs to come up above that line, so at least to there. So all I have to do is just literally draw a line from here to here and just come on around to there, and this could represent the top of the head. And then I just, at that point, again, it's just based on how that hairline looks. You know, I'm trying to keep it even, but you kind of see where I'm going for. You got to have a forehead here. Now, even if I was going to make this person have long hair, okay, if the person had some kind of long hair, I have to come up above this line, the original line that was here. I have to come up and then come over, okay, and then I would draw that hair. Okay, now this person's starting to look more feminine, but as you can see, the line has to come above the scalp, and then you come over. Now, of course, if you're drawing somebody with long hair of any kind, if it's just like if it's a woman, or like a Caucasian woman, Mexican woman, Asian woman, or even a black woman, if she had braids or whatever, okay, just know you're not going to be able to see the ears unless her hair is pinned back behind her or something like that. But again, that's on you, and the best way to learn how to draw somebody is to look at yourself. But again, this is just a generic head. You just draw a circle, put a dot there, draw a line slightly below that dot. You put your eyes on that line. Make sure that the eyes are one eye length apart. Make sure that the eyes are one eye length going down. That'll let you know where the bottom of the nose is going to be. Again, you just have to look at your nose, or look at go get a drawing book about the shapes of nose. They do have them out there. They have books that show the different body parts and stuff. You know, go get a Gray's Anatomy book. You know, just look at the structure of the face. Draw your nose. You got your lips. You got different types of lips. You got thick lips, big lips, wide lips, thin lips. You know, bubble lips. You know, like Forrest Gump. Okay. So you make your lips, and then you have your bottom jaw. Now, depending on how you structure the jaw, if the smoother that jaw is and the more pointy that jaw is, the more it's going to be feminine. the more blocky this jaw is going to end up being, the more masculine it's going to be. And then if it's a woman, you know, you give her a thin neckline. If it's a dude, okay, you can make a thicker neck and then give it a really good structured trap muscle. You know, again, my OC is kicking. I could tell that don't look even. It don't look symmetric. And then you just give broad shoulders. If it's a girl, smooth shoulders. Guy, broad shoulders. And then that's all you have to do. Now again, this will help you, especially my students who's having to do a Black History portrait. So you can create this basic generic head, and then you can just structure this into be whoever you want. You want to make it like Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, you know, Shaka Zulu, you know, Dr. King, you know, Medgar Evers, whoever, you know, you can do that. Okay, so I hope this helps. You know, just slow the video down and just go back and just practice it. And to be honest with you, if you really want to learn how to draw a head, you need to look at yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror with a sketch pad. Or matter of fact, you can use your phone and just start drawing yourself. Alright, I hope this helps. All of y'all, you know, take it easy and, you know, have fun drawing. And I will see you next time.